guys, welcome back to Spooky Witches UK. Before I get into today's video, I really want to apologise for not uploading in like a month and a half, something like that. I have been really poorly. As you can hear, I'm still pretty poorly. I'm only just starting to get better, but I've been dealing with a lot of stuff behind the scenes as well. But yeah, I am here now, and I'm going to be back with regular uploads. So yeah, but today's video is about a building that's here in the United Kingdom called, well, it doesn't stand anymore, but it's called Borley Rectory. If you haven't heard of this place, there is a programme on Netflix called Borley Rectory, and that's what inspired me, plus my mum, to do this kind of video. So it was founded in 1862 by Reverend Henry Dawson Ellis Bull, and he moved in a year after becoming the parish rector. Sorry guys, I am so ill. He lived there with his family, and the rectory had been built on a site where a previous rectory was, and it had been destroyed by a fire in 1841. Now, Borley Rectory was later expanded by an extra wing to accommodate the Bull's 14 children. So, what am I doing making a video about Borley Rectory? Well, here it is. Borley Rectory has been documented to have had paranormal activity as early as 1863. A few people have reported hearing footsteps. However, it wasn't until the 1900s, well, 1900, July 28th to be exact, of 1900, that four of Henry's daughters claimed they had seen the ghost of a nun around twilight, about 40 yards from the home. Now, the nun is important, so hold on to her whilst we get there. Anyway, apparently they tried to talk to the spirit several times, but they could never get close enough, because whenever they did, she'd just disappear. A local organist, Ernest Ambrose, said that most of the family at the rectory were convinced they'd seen apparitions on several occasions. A variety of people claimed to have experienced different things. On one instance, people had recalled seeing a phantom coach with headless horsemen. So, Henry Dawson Ellis Bull died at the rectory in 1892, and his son Henry Foyster Bull, his son Harry Foyster Bull, also known as Henry, took over as the rector and of the living. Now, Harry, there was nothing really in between this period of time. There wasn't really many reports. Harry died on the 9th of June 1927, and the rectory stood vacant for a good while. It is noted, especially in the programme, that two of Harry's sisters were convinced that his wife had killed him. But if you want more on that, go watch the documentary, because I couldn't really find much on it. So, the year following Harry's death, Reverend Guy Smith and his wife moved into the rectory. And not so long after they moved in, Smith's wife had found the skull of a young woman in a brown paper bag whilst cleaning a cupboard. Soon after the family started reporting several incidents of paranormal activity, including the sounds of servants' bells, even though these bells had been disconnected. Unexplained footsteps, lights appearing in windows. Smith's wife also... my God. I apologise, I am so ill. But Smith's wife also claimed to have seen the phantom coach at night time. So she was at her wit's end, this poor Reverend's wife, so she contacted the Daily Mirror to be put in touch with the Society of Psychic Research. However, on the 10th of June 1929, the Daily Mirror sent a reporter, obviously, who wrote the first article in what would be many articles on Borley Rectory. However, the paper also arranged for Harry Price, who was a paranormal researcher, to attend Borley Rectory. So, when Harry Price arrived on the 12th of June, paranormal activity of a new level, shall we say, started almost immediately. Throwing stones, vases, other objects, spirit messages in the form of tapping on the frame of a mirror. However, when Harry Price left, all of this activity stopped. Suspicious. Very suspicious. Smith's wife maintained that she thought Price had made up, falsified a lot of the events. Excuse me. Thank you. The Smiths left Borley Rectory on the 14th of July 1929, and the parish had a hard time filling the space that had been left open by the Smiths. They did eventually fill it a year later. On the 16th of October, Reverend Lionel Algernon Foyster and his wife Marianne and their adopted daughter Adelaide. Now, Reverend Lionel was a cousin of the Bull family. Now, Lionel documented all sorts of events from the moment they moved into 1935. He documented bell ringing, windows shattering, stones being thrown, also bottles writing on the walls, and their daughter was locked in a room with no key, and on one occasion the poor daughter had been seriously attacked. Oh dear, my apologies. Lionel had tried on 2 occasions to perform an exorcism. The first time that he tried to perform an exorcism, a stone was thrown at him that was the size of a fist. Because of the publicity that had been caused by the Daily Mirror, the rectory had attracted the attention of several psychic researchers who, after their investigations, were convinced that the events were caused by her husband in connection with one of the researchers, but the rest of the events were said to be genuine. Later on... Oh, no, right. I apologise, I got that totally wrong. So, because of the publicity surrounding Borley Rectory, several psychic researchers went in, and after their investigations they were convinced that the events were caused consciously or unconsciously by the Reverend's wife, Marianne. Later, she said that she thought some of the events were fabricated by her husband in connection with one of the researchers, but the rest of the events she said to her to be genuine. Now, later on, she admitted to having an affair with the lodger, Frank Perlis, and that she used paranormal events to cover up her affair. Now, that's that. Now we go back to Harry Price. Now, he's the paranormal investigator, if you remember, or the paranormal researcher. Now, The Reverend Lionel and his wife Marianne and their daughter moved out. So the rectory stood empty for some time after the Foysters moved out due to Lionel's ill health. Then in May of 1937, Harry Price took out a year-long lease on this property. Then placed an advertisement in the newspaper for official observers, which were mainly students. They came to stay for a period of time, usually over the weekend, at the rectory. They were to report any unexplained events, happenings. Now, in March of 1938, Helen Glanville, she was the daughter of one of Harry Price's helpers. She conducted a planchette session, a planchette seance, right? And that is, you've got the planchette, but it's got a pencil in it. And the theory is that the spirit can use your energy to manipulate the planchette and write words. Harry Price had reported that Helen had spoken to two spirits. The first was that of a young nun. Now, if you remember the nun from earlier on, this nun stated that her name was Marie Le. I'm going to put that name on the screen because I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It is French. And she was apparently a French nun. She'd left a religious order, apparently, to marry a member of the Waldegrave family, the owners of the Borley's 17th century manor house, Borley Hall. She apparently said she had been murdered on the site of an old building, either thrown into her body was either thrown into the cellar or into an unused wall. And the writing on the wall was said to have been her spirit begging Marianne, which was Lionel's wife, to help her. One read, "Marianne, please help me get out." Now, the other spirit identified themselves as Sunex Amures. Oh my god. So this spirit identified themselves as Sunex Amures, and this spirit claimed he would set fire to the rectory at 9 o'clock on March 27th, 1938. He also said at that time the bones of a murdered persons would be revealed. So on the 27th, we're going fast forward in a year now. In fact, we're fast forwarding a little bit further. So on the 27th of February 1939, the new owner of the rectory, Captain W.H. Gregson, whilst unpacking boxes, knocked over an oil lamp, starting a fire which spread very quickly throughout the house, and the house ended up severely damaged. After an investigation as to what caused the fire, the insurance company at the time declared that this fire was started deliberately. Now, there's a lot of speculation around this fire, because it did spread awfully quickly, but that's a story for another time. And Miss Williams from nearby Borley Lodge claimed to have seen the ghost of a nun. Harry Price ended up having to pay for her story, and this story of her seeing this nun, and led him to conduct a dig on the site of the burned house, to which the bones belonging to a young woman were found. These bones could have been of Marie. They could have been some form of animal bones. However, these bones were given a Christian burial in Liston churchyard after the Borley parish refused to take them on the account of local opinion that they were that they were the bones of a pig, animal bones. So yeah, thankfully, if these were the bones of this young woman, they were given a proper burial. But that's really the story of Borley Hall. A lot of it is up for debate. A lot of people claim that it was fabricated. I'm pretty sure the ruins of Borley Rectory still stand, but don't hold me to that. but you can go to where it is. So yeah, that is the story of Borley Rectory. It's like I said, a lot of it is up for debate on whether or not it was fabricated, on whether it was real or not. Now, a lot of paranormal investigators that have been to the site cannot find any evidence of a prior building, like a Benedictine monastery and stuff like that, because that was one of the rumours, that she was buried in a monastery, this nun. But they can't find any evidence of a Benedictine monastery ever standing there. But I would recommend that you head over to Netflix and literally watch. It's called Borley Rectory. It's definitely a good watch. It's interesting to say the least. But yeah, on that note, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I love you all. Stay safe and stay spooky, witches. Bye.